Good morning, one and all. Welcome back to the next episode of Ange-r Management with myself and Johnny. And as you can see from Johnny's smile, the smiles are back, the happiness is back. That one blemish of the Fulham game is gone. It's time to be positive. First of all, Johnny, how are you, buddy?
You can see by the glasses. Oh dear, what a day yesterday! What a day! What a day! Yeah, like a bit. I don't think I've got much left actually, but yeah, it was a great day. Hang on, I'll take off my glasses.
There you go.
Oh dear. Yeah, it was a long day, but it was worth every single second of it.
It really was. I mean, I've got to say, Johnny, first of all, we started off doing a mammoth transfer deadline day on the channel, and thank you for everyone that tuned in and watched parts of the show or all of the shows. We really enjoyed doing it. They got home about just gone midnight, up at 6:30 to get a coach to Burnley with you. A rowdy, eventful coach, a wonderful game of football, and a rowdy and eventful journey home. So today, yeah, I need a recharge after this. I think today is a day of just relax. How about yourself?
Uh, yeah, recovery, pleasant recovery. Just rejoicing that somehow or other, out of nowhere, God has given us our football back. He sent Ange to rescue my football world because before that I was despondent, and now
Yep.
I can come back I can get excited about going, and I can be happy and elated over a weekend, face friends, and not be embarrassed, basically.
Correct. And before we get into it, in true Ange-r Management style, we'll just say hello to everyone. So, good morning, Gabriel. Good morning, Crossbone. Good morning, Swifty. Indeed. Good morning to Just a Harmless Potato, to my brother in Finland, Jonas. Gary in Australia. The Australians must be happy today. JR, big up, brother. How are you? Graham Hill, Warrior Without a Master, also, I believe, in Australia. Mark Cousins, Dan Inward. Drula is here. Good morning. And you've got a new name I'm going to call you by. It's Nonny, which she then goes to correct and call Johnny afterwards. Good morning, Fran. Who else we got? We've got Ren, proud to be a Geordie's in the house.
Who was up
Rich
at midnight? Going back? Someone was up until midnight.
Up until midnight watching the game. You must have. Okay, I'm guessing you're not in England, or you're watching Match of the Day very, very late. But wherever you watched it, good morning to you, Ren. Colin, big up, Colin. How are you? Wolsby, Shermanator's in the building. Good morning, Shermanator from the Spaces. How are you, brother? I was going to join your space yesterday, but Johnny and I were in a packed coach, and we would not have been. You wouldn't have been able to hear us.
Number one, we wouldn't have been able to hear you, and you wouldn't have wanted to be hearing what you were hearing on our coach. I've got to say, big up and big thank you to the people that came up to me in a very crowded Burnley fan area, right, and said that they loved the show, and so thank you for all those people. Don't ask me to remember your names. I'm really sorry, because I'm the world's worst person with names. Never forget a face. Horrific with names. But thank you to all those people, and to people who said they love Brian.
Yeah, exactly. Especially there's over 100 people here. We only got started talking about the game. So big up to all the 102. JR, Davo. Who else have I missed? Dale is in the house. I've said hello to Gary. I think we are caught up to date. Yeah, we are up to date with everyone. So let's get into Ange-r Management. And as everyone knows that's watched the show, but if you're new to the show, we will tackle the negatives first, if there was any. And today is going to be very, very short, which is the way we like it.
Can I just say on this point, just for clarity here, for the people who came at me after Fulham, the idea of the show is, regardless of whether we love Ange or don't like Ange, we all love Ange, but we have to analyse game by game. It's all about analysing game by game.
Yep.
So if we look at it and we think that Ange has made a mistake, we will call it out. and we will call it out when he's done right. But it does not mean that we aren't supportive of Ange. I just wanted to get that clear, because I think some people thought, when I was raging on Tuesday, and rightly so, I still believe 9 subs was a mistake. But I just wanted to get that bit out of the way.
That's
the
cool.
main negative for me yesterday.
Wait, whoa, Johnny. Whoa, I haven't explained the structure. We're going there very
sorry,
soon.
man.
But after the negatives, we'll deal with a very, very big amount of positives. Special mentions of the players that we believe deserve that. And believe me, there are a good few players.
Yesterday?
There's going to be a good few yesterday. And then we talk about the great man himself. But what I forgot to say is at the beginning of the show, the work you saw is from this man here who does incredible, incredible artwork. Go check him out on Twitter. And he has given his permission for us to use it. He makes the pieces for us. So yeah, go check out his Twitter. He's a brilliant dude, really, really good guy, and check him out. But yes, getting back to the show, Johnny.
The biggest negative yesterday was getting on the coach and finding out the toilet was broken before we'd even started on our journey, which was about 6, which was meant to be about 4 hours, but having 55, not just guys, but on the coach, who were obviously having a little drink. And you can imagine how many. I visited more service stations than I knew existed, right? You might stop once on the way and have your journey out. Well, I seem to have visited every service station there and back. So that was my main negative. But no, joking aside, onto the game. I think we're starting the games again, a bit like we did under Conte, sleeping. First 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, we were very lax, and I saw Cuti Romero just saying, calm down, just literally calm down, right? Because they were losing their heads. There's some of the passing, because Burnley were pressing. Burnley were pressing really, really high and fast, and we were trying to play the ball out of the back. So that was one of my negatives. We need to get the game start on the front foot, but that was about it for that section. I can go on to other negatives after, but that was it. We just need to concentration, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the only negatives for me was the first 15 minutes. Minus. Oh wait a minute, can we just? You did that, and I just forced to do that. Can we just get a fly update, and then we just had a clap?
Yeah, honestly, look. So I'm still fighting it with this. We're not even getting paid by Ray to advertise this. So I've now switched to an old housewives remedy, apparently, which is apple cider vinegar and some fruit to try and track these flies and make little holes in. So I took a lot of time to research, and the upshot is nothing. Absolutely nothing. No flies, no captures, but a lot of time and a lot of effort. My little Blue Peter thing to make the plastic, they're looking for the elastic band, making the holes, going to buy the apple cider vinegar. It's rubbish. Okay. Yeah. So I will be going to war as soon as this finishes.
This is just
when you're swiping. It's not trying to shoo anyone away. It's a low flying fly.
Ryan, my brother, I know you're very, very happy with yesterday's performance. But the league. Yeah, let's not get. Ryan goes from one extreme to the other. I love that, brother, so dearly. And I just want to say thank you to Davo for joining us at the coffee house. Yeah, negatives that I was going to say. You missed that one. Maybe we're lucky at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or other away games that I've been to, but getting to our seats at Burnley was ridiculous. The way that Burnley, I know it's a smaller stadium or everything, but if anyone was at Burnley yesterday, you go up this one passage, and there was 3,000 of us yesterday, all trying to go up the same passage to get to your seat. Not you're in this section, that section, this. That was a nightmare. That was an absolute nightmare. But apart from the first 15 minutes, I think we were superb. I think we were absolutely superb. If I was to have one negative, if I had to pick one player.
We're not allowed to talk about players.
On negatives, we are.
Oh, are we? Oh, all right. Well,
You
I've
know,
got one
special
for
mention
you.
and special mention. So I guess you and me are the same guy. Go on, you go first because you always go first.
No. Look, for me, Kulu
There we
yesterday.
go.
I was saving him. When you beat your man and put the ball in the box. Okay, you cannot just beat your man and not put cool cat. You cannot beat your man and then come and try and beat him again. Just beat your man and put the ball in the box. I've got to tell you, unless he bucks up his ideas, Johnson is going to be in there. Johnson's going to be there very soon.
There you go. Listen to Saigo. You need to get some fly tape.
Yeah, but they're not. These are fruit flies. These are tiny little things like gnats that you would see in a field, like come in a cloud. They're not giant flies. These are like they come in clouds. Porro, I think Porro's position is really. Sorry, Porro. Kulu's position is really under threat. I'm sorry. You beat your man. Get the ball in the box. You know, Solomon. You know, he gets his chance, bang, in the box. That's it. I just think Johnson, with his one-on-one down that flank, once he beats his man, he's going to cut inside and he's going to be causing damage. Kulu should be on the bench, in my opinion. I've said this before, and I've got to tell you, when Porro, I was delighted the fact when Porro pushed up front and Emerson came on sitting behind because. You know, that's the other thing. And the last negative is, I got to tell you, he had a great game yesterday, but Porro cannot defend. I'm sorry.
Okay, you and me have had this discussion.
He had a fantastic game. He had an amazing game, but we're talking about negatives here. Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
I literally think
for the first goal. He was at fault for the first goal, clearly at fault. He came short, got caught out, then lost his position, then couldn't come back and cover him because he would have given away a penalty. And he had some involvement as well as culpable as well for the second with Josh Brownhill's nicely taken goal. So wasn't solely at fault, but he was part of the fault for that second goal. And if you count out how many goals we've conceded and what part he's had in some of them. You know, I'm just saying, better opposition, we could get found out.
Yeah, now what I will say is that first of all, an update for you and another super tip for your flies: put dishwashing liquid to thin the surface area, and then the flies will drown. There you go.
Thank you. I've done that. Funny enough, I put some dishwasher in. It's got some of them in a shallow dish. The shallow dish one seemed to work. But we'll keep you update on Flygate.
Yeah, we'll keep you
just
updated.
A pollutant.
I'm so happy. There's 204 people in here right now, and we haven't even started.
Who are the 4, Brian?
I don't know who the 4 are. The 4 need to reveal themselves. But what I will say is, with Porro, yes, he was at fault, but I still think like you. But I think he can. We hope he can.
We hope he can. We're talking negatives.
After the last 2 performances prior, it showed me that there's some faith and some chance that he could. But I agree with you still that he is absolutely a right winger for me. And it just showed with his pass in the second half, and we will get onto that later on. Good morning, audio. Good morning, Americanka. How are you? Right, let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the good stuff, shall we? It's all good from here on in, people. 216 were there for the negative. We'll now get ready to start your Sunday with a shitload of positivity. So, Johnny, over to you.
The Burnley welcome. The fans were fantastic. The atmosphere yesterday was fantastic. I think the fans, even after that shocking defeat in the week, I think the fans have just had a complete makeover. You know, going to the stadium game after game after game and listening to people fighting with each other and arguing with each other. And now the people are hugging. Yes, Jason, we started last season. We had the best ever start.
Correct.
Okay. But the
Correct.
difference is, Jason, I will tell you, and anyone who knows me, I said we're not forgetting the fact that I was saying that our football was shocking and we were getting away with it. We were constantly getting away with it at the beginning of last season. It did not convince me that we were going to have a good season. I was seriously worried. So I hear what you're saying, but to have a new manager, and to have this positivity, I'm just telling you. Brian will tell you as well. There were people that were coming out afterwards. They couldn't see anymore. That was one of the best away days in years. For fact.
Do you know what, Johnny? I'll tell you now. I've been to many away days. Not recently, because obviously Canada or whatever, but when I had my season ticket from 95 to 2004, pretty much went everywhere. I was at the Leicester 3-2 when Bergwijn scored the 2 at the death. I was at the Manchester City 3-2 when Harry Kane scored that last-minute winner. I've never seen anything like I saw at Burnley yesterday, ever. The fans yesterday, I've never, ever heard it like that. Listen, I've heard it loud. I've heard it when it's happy. That was a party in there. It was a goddamn party. Like every single song. Richarlison's on the bench. The Richarlison song went on for like 5-6 minutes. The Bissouma chant went on, and then we went on an attack. And as soon as the attack was over, they went back to the Bissouma. The Posta, just everything.
Even Ange was asking for the Bissouma song at the end.
Yeah, they were literally every single player was getting their name was getting sung. Mickey van der Ven has got about 7 songs, as has James Maddison. It's just which one do you pick?
And but Solomon's got one now.
Yeah, Solomon's got one that Ben and I have trademarked.
Solomon.
No. Hammer isn't it? It's Mano. Oh man, oh man,
oh yeah.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh Solomon. But yeah, God, this show always brings me out into song. Because it's a happy show. It is a very, very happy show. Yeah, positives. Do you know what? The football. We're not going to mention players here, but I'll tell you what I did love the most. What I love the most is how we are defending from the front. And if this was the old defence, we would have been 10, 15 yards back that way every time Burnley got the ball. But these players, those 4 at the back, want to attack. They want to get the ball. They don't care. Yeah, they're not worried about taking risks. They will go and get the ball as high up the pitch as possible. Where over the previous managers, I'm going to get someone to record it and just make a dance out of your like the new Macarena. The way they are defending at the back, there is no. The shackles are off. They are going forward. They just want to get the ball as high up the pitch as possible, and all 4 of them want to do it. And they're all prepared if there's a mistake that they've got cover at the back. That, for me, was simply outstanding. They literally were just... Romero, we're going to get into the players, but I think that style of play, with these kind of play... And you've got to remember, some of these were here under the previous management. Some of them. And it's like...
the high line of the
sorry, Joe, I was just about to say, I'll let you go back to you. These managers prior had aces up their sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
But they were too stubborn to use them, or they didn't want to try anything because they were so determined that their version was right and the players were right. When they had players sitting there, and there's one in particular that plays in midfield, the last manager had, and he was more than an ace. He was a pair of aces, and just seeing that football was incredible, wasn't it? And also a much bigger positive. Well, not much bigger, but my boy Alfie, I just have to mention it today, came on for 22 minutes against Port Vale. I put all my notifications audio on Port Vale. 22 minutes, goal, assist, match-winning penalty, man of the match. My boy Alfie only needs 22 minutes to make his mark. I am checking up on him regularly. But Johnny, back over to you.
He's going to be a top player. Listen, I think, look, the high line, the positivity, the way that the team's encouraged to... if it sees space ahead of them, to go for it, to drive into that space. And when you've got Porro, when you've got 100% Ren, when you've got Porro, when you've got destiny, and they see that space. We have got such attacking flexibility. What I liked yesterday was the fact Spurs of old, when you go a goal down away from home, it's a really tough thing to do. The crowd's up. And then what we did, we conceded an early goal. I think in the 4th minute, we conceded that goal from the kid on the left, the number 30, who had a fantastic.
He was incredible.
Yeah, young kid, 18, I think he is. What a young prospect he is. Anyway, they scored the goal and we were under a bit of pressure. We conceded the goal. Kuti was saying, calm down, because we were panicking in the passes. But the way we got ourselves together, Spurs of old would have conceded 2 or 3 and we would have been in dead trouble trying to fight in the second half to come back. Yep. We look very, very composed, right? And I think giving Kuti that armband has really been a good thing. The other positive I wanted to mention, actually, when you were talking about the high line, yep, was one of the things that concerned me was that Big Vic, for me, was still thinking he's a goalkeeper at Empoli and standing, in his little box, right?
Yeah.
I don't want him on his penalty spot. I want him further out. And yesterday I noticed he's pushed out a bit. Maybe he's got a little bit more confidence and he was almost at the edge of his box. And there was a couple of moments where balls came out and he rushed out and managed to deal with them. And talking about the positives, I just wanted to, bearing in mind, okay, guys, that this is without Harry Kane. Okay, so it's quite interesting stat this. So this is under Ange compared to last season, and this is Premier League average per game. Remember, last year was with Harry Kane and with his 30 goals. Okay, so goals. Okay, 1.84. as opposed to 2.75 this year without Harry Kane, yeah?
Yeah.
Expected goals, 1.52 last year, 1.84 this year. Shots, this is average per game at the moment, 13.6, shots 18. Average shots on target, 5.2 this year, 7. Average touches, this is a huge one. Average touches in the opposition box. Last year, 23, because we were playing so deep. Now 43, almost double. Possession in the final third, 4.3 touches in the final third, almost double again, 7.25. And passes in the box from 26 to 30. So even without Harry Kane, we're creating more chances, we're scoring more goals, and in fact, we are doing everything better. And I think that is because we were Harry Kane FC. I think everyone looked for Harry.
Just like this.
Well, this is what I've said. This is what I've been saying, Lewis, right? The real N17-year Lewis. I've been saying this for weeks now. Keep saying it. Keep repeating it. We are now a team. We are playing as a unit. Leicester City won the title. No one thought they were going to win it because they weren't a great group of... They weren't individuals that stood out. I think we got far better individuals than Leicester, and yet they went on, shocked everyone, and won. And won the league. And this team is a better group of individuals. If he could keep this up, it would be amazing. Obviously, we're not going to get carried away with ourselves, but there's so many positives in those numbers which suggest that this club, everyone's working together as a unit.
You're right. And let's before we now go on to special mentions, we just got a couple of super chats, and then I'm going to have a negative to say, but I'm going to turn it into or you guys are going to turn it into a positive. Everyone that's in the chat. So first of all, Adrian, big up, Adrian. Thank you. Anyone gets high seeing Vic play around these defenders. I think the football we're playing at the back. I don't get Hugo vibes. If they're passing out from the back anymore, I'm like, hey, I'm chilled, I'm relaxed. I am absolutely have 100% faith in my defence and goalkeeper again. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's hard when you got the high press. We will play better teams with a better press. Liverpool, Arsenal, they will play with a better press. I think we will get a better indication of where we are as a football team after we played Arsenal and Liverpool, and we can reassess. But this is the early part of the journey. This is the start of Ange's Tottenham, and to be playing this brand of football so early is amazing. It really is. So
Yeah.
we are going to have bumps. I was worried we were going to have giant potholes, but I think we'll have bumps. And yeah, we're going to have games like Fulham. I don't think we'll have Fulham again. I think that was, I don't know, maybe he wasn't well or something, making 9 substitutions, because right now I wish we were in the cup, because watching that today, on our day, we can beat anyone. And I mean anyone.
Yep. And the second one, Tigaro, big up Tigaro. I crashed out at 11:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Time, then woke up at 1:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Time to a 5-1 lead. You couldn't have punched the smile off my face. Well, all I've got to say to you, Tigaro, my man, is go to sleep more often during Spurs games, and then we might wake up 5-1 every single game. I during the Jose Mourinho era, I was falling asleep at home in Canada watching the games, and I didn't have as good a luck as you. So maybe you're the good luck charm. It's always good when you wake up, Johnny, and you see your team's 5-1 up, isn't it?
Listen, I went to sleep a lot last season. Unfortunately, when I woke up inside the stadium, we were normally losing. So it's a great thing, Tigara, that you managed to fall asleep and wake up and winning. So.
Exactly, it's a wonderful feeling. Right, before we go on to the special mentions, I did say we're going to have a negative and turn it into a positive, because I'm just going to check. Thank you so much to the 382 people that are in here. But as we currently check, 108 likes. Come on, people, let's get that up if you
Brian,
can.
That's a terrible XG. That is the worst XG. That's the worst conversion rate. Guys, come off it.
Let's get it going. Let's get it going, because we've done with the positives. It's now time where we're going to break this down and go in very deeply with the players.
How deep?
Oh, here we go. You're going to go innuendo mad.
We're
right.
Going deep. No, we're not going. It's no
carry on. I told you 2 people to stay away from, because I need to have my say about them and have them as my pick. But okay. You've got 9 players to choose from. So off you go.
Blimey, where'd you start? Okay.
As long as you don't start with my 2, I don't care. Okay, you're starting there. Okay.
James Maddison. I could have gone anywhere. I could have started anywhere. We did speak on the beforehand that I wouldn't mention any of Brian's choices first. So
only these 2. The rest
only those 2. Right, James Maddison yesterday. What a signing! Honestly, the guy has, reborn. But the player that I watched years ago when he was a young kid that I wanted Spurs to buy, this guy is unbelievable. He is loving his football so much. Every pass, he's looking up, and he's just unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's playing with a smile on his face. He's playing with his head up. It's like he's almost pinching himself that he's there. The link play with all of the players, and I don't think that we've even seen the best of him yet. I really don't think we've seen the best of him yet. When he came to celebrate with the fans, I mean, he's already won over the fans massively. It's not just about scoring the goals. He's cheeky. There's a real buzz, and I think on that pitch yesterday, he was one of 3 leaders who really came together to drive the team forward. That goal was so sweet. It was such a sweetly taken goal. I mean, you could talk about him forever, but I mean, Southgate's right, you're effing shite, right, is the chant that went up against Bournemouth. And he responded, as you saw, when he went to take the corner by moving the ball. He's got banter with the fans. But if you're watching Gareth Southgate, because I know you're a man about form, that's why you dropped
Raheem
Raheem
Sterling.
Sterling, and you picked one guy that can't even get in his Man United team, and another guy who's out in Saudi Arabia feeding camels. I don't understand it. James Maddison should be getting minutes for England based on that form. Unbelievable.
Yeah, right. Let me have my say on Maddison. Do you know what? This man is incredible. I'll say to you on the coach home, and I've said it before. The one thing I didn't know he had to his game is taking the ball on the turn and carrying it up the pitch.
Yeah.
I know his passing is outstanding. I know his set pieces is outstanding. I know his long range shooting and goal contributions is outstanding. But I didn't know he had that to his game. And my God, this guy is about 10 times better. No, a lot better than I even thought he was.
11
He
times?
is, he's marvellous. He really is. Not just that, I never saw him as captain material, ever. But when you watch him on the pitch, he is dictating games. The game is going completely through him. He's there for calming people down. He's there to get people. And the best thing about him is he looks like he's been at Spurs for seasons. The fans have obviously taken to him immediately. We've always wanted him. But I don't know if it's having kids, because I remember him just being having a bit of a temper, having a bit of a ego, getting in trouble off the pitch.
Brian, what were you like at 23, 24?
That's a different show.
With
That's
all
a,
that money. Exactly what I'm saying. I know what I was at 23, you know?
That's a completely different show.
That's what I'm saying. With all the money, with all the fame, with all the people who are trying to get at you, trying to niggle at you, trying to take your money, the women, the guys who are trying to exploit you. Okay, yep. Very, very easy for us to be on the outside judging someone's behaviour. Some can handle it, some can't, unfortunately. And that's why you need protected people around you, whether it's your management or your family, to protect you. And I think you're right. I think the baby and, with girlfriend, I think has maybe changed him.
Oh, completely. Well, he's got 3 now, hasn't he? He's just had the twins. He's settled into life into London brilliantly. I have been waiting for ages for him to start opening up and taking long range shots, and I got to see it yesterday live. There's been a few occasions in previous games where I thought James Maddison would pull the trigger, but do you know what else he does? And I've seen it at least 6 times now. When he's in the box and the amount of times that people slide in because they're so worried he's going to take a cross, and he just does a Johan Cruyff turn or just puts his foot on the ball, and they go skidding. He is just a joy to see. And you know what? If this is the start of him, the finish of him, once he gets fully up to speed, is going to be quite a daunting thing for everyone in the Premier League.
We've got to keep him. We've got to be careful though, because he is quite fragile, right? And
exactly what Kate just said.
Yeah,
and I think a few people might have said.
Yeah, he's fragile, and that's why you cannot sell Gio. And what I'd like to see is Gio trying to get. I was a mess in my 20s. Yeah, exactly. I'd like to see Gio get some minutes. To be truthful,
if he's not injured. But now I'm going to go on to the first of my 2. There's a lot more, but there's 2 players that have got
one
me
at
under
a time, Brian. One at a time.
Yeah, that have got me under their spell. And the first one, I don't, as people know, my favourite player of all time and never will be topped is Paul Gascoigne. And then my second favourite player of all time is Jan Vertonghen. So I don't always go for the Gareth Bales, the Jurgen Klinsmanns. There's a lot more for me to say. And these 2 players, in time, have the potential.
Eric Dyer again.
These 2 have the 2 that I'm going to mention, but I'm going to mention one at a time, obviously, have a chance of getting there. And the first one I'm going to mention, and I've mentioned him first in every single Ange-r Management we've done, is our new, and who I think right now on current form, best left back in the Premier League, is Destiny Udogie. This kid, and I am going to call him a kid, he's 20 years old, has taken to the Premier League like a duck to water. His power, in the first half, when we had that 15-minute wobble, at one point he took the ball from left back and ran it right up to the penalty box. He is so confident running with the ball. He is so powerful to get off it. He helped get the assist for Son's second of the three. He's everywhere. He's quick in the tackle. He's powerful. He's direct. He's always available. This kid has played 4 games. 4 games. And who would say, I can't remember a time, and I'm not just saying this as a Spurs fan, tell me a team or a time, unless we're talking the bigs, Roberto Carlos. I'm not putting Destiny up there before people think. How many players at left back have come in and had such an impact? I can't think. I'm being serious. You look at the Ashley Coles, and I'm not putting him up there or anything like that. The Dennis Irwins. I cannot think of a left back that has come into the Premier League.
Gareth Bale, I remember seeing him as a 17-year-old kid come on for Southampton and just go, whoa, right? You know,
I think Destiny's done more. I'm not just saying this. No, don't get me wrong. I'm talking in his first 4 games, not in his career.
I know. Listen, I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. You know, Gareth came, and as we know, I bigged him up massively where I sit in the stand, and then he proceeded to be part of a team that never won for 23 games on the trot, and I got slaughtered every single time I came into the stadium. There he is, the Bale guy. Yeah, I got I got my own back, obviously, as time went on. But listen, Destiny is unbelievable. You know, how much was a Doji in the window? £15 million, right? £15 million. Those Paratici, Fabio haters out there, just look at, you know, the signings that he's made. A Doji, we haven't even seen the best of him yet, because what he loves to do is to, if you watch him for Udinese, once he gets that pace up, you cannot stop him. He's like a freight train coming down the tracks and down those tracks, and you can't stop him. He normally likes to cut inside and whack the ball, and with his right foot and smash it into the corner of the net. We haven't seen that yet, but we're going to. He got a bit lucky, but he still was battling for Maddison's goal. You know, when he won the ball out on the right-hand side, cut the ball across for Maddison, who cut inside, bang. And, you know, that's what I said to Steve. But he was still came in, and he was creating all sorts of stuff. He's honestly unbelievable.
He is. I mean, again, hands up. When we signed him, I was like, who?
Well, he was the top. He was the top 5, Brian.
Of course, no. I'm saying when we signed him, then obviously I kept a bit an interest in him, but he is honestly. You see him on TV, like didn't get to see him at Fulham because obviously he was rested. You've watched him on TV, and you see greatness, or you see a very good performance. Watching him live is just something. It was. I'm getting pumped up and excited to be talking about a left back and his stunning performance in a 5-2 win. Normally, you're talking about a left back is defending in a narrow win or whatever. This guy, I saw something. I can't remember who said it. It was like literally, he is a Galactico in the making. He is a superstar.
He's a left back. He's learning left back. He's learning the left back role. Right, he's learning the left back role, because basically this guy could play left wing tomorrow, right? With the pace and the skill set and the power he's got, 100%. You know, when Gabonini brought him into Udinese, he saw something special in him, and you know, it's no surprise. You know, he'll be up in the Italian squad, full Italian squad as a regular very, very soon. I'm almost certain of it.
I don't know how he is.
Quality, but this is a guy learning to be a left back, right? Can you imagine? Obviously, you've seen something.
I almost spat my coffee out when you said learning. It's ridiculous. Yeah. That's how good he is, and he's learning.
Yeah, because he's a left wing back, right?
Yeah,
he's a left wing back, and we're only going to see more from him. I'm waiting for people to see the real Destiny that I saw and watched at Udinese, who cuts inside and unleashes that shot. And as you say, You are my destiny.
That's correct. Okay, your next one.
I'll have to give him a mention. He did a little bit yesterday. Heung-min, Son Heung-min. He's got 3 names and 3 goals. Yeah.
There you go.
3 for 3.
There you
go. He was possessed yesterday. He missed an absolute sitter. I was cursing him when the start of the second half, ball came up. His first touch was absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, it was.
Thinking, oh my God, this is where we were 2-1 up. Just second half started. It was a sitter. He just needed to slot it to the side of the keeper who was rushing out. Anyway, that first goal was so sublime. That chip, the chip, he just had them all beat, all ends up.
Yeah.
The second goal was so intelligent. When Solomon was running down that flank, he could have, most attackers would have run into the box to anticipate Solomon crossing, but he didn't. He hung back and he sat in the space, and Solomon was intelligent enough to play the ball into him, and he finished it. And the third was a lovely one, slipped under the keeper. I had 2 South Koreans who were sat next to me, and they were clapping everything, right? You know, him bending over to pick up a piece of paper off the floor was amazing, right? They were beside themselves. I couldn't help but video them when Sonny scored. We got half of South Korea. If this is Sonny back from his double hernia, this is great. But the thing is, I don't believe Sonny would play like that under Conte's system on his own, because he would be too deep. The high line, the ball over the top was fantastic for him to run onto. The ball from Porro and the lights, fantastic. Let's hope he can keep it up. I think confidence breeds confidence, and I think it's a shame it's the international break now, and they'll all be going to the 4 corners of the earth for games, and it's going to interfere with our momentum, which is a real shame. Hope we don't pick up any injuries, but a fit Sonny and a goal-scoring Sonny is a sight to behold. Long may it continue.
No, listen, do you know what? I would go on the first thing you mentioned about Son. The thing I loved about that bad first touch, and it was a really bad touch, he was clean through, was his anger at how bad that was. He was straight away when he saw that, I thought there you go, Ange-r Management. He literally, he realised and he was beside himself. It was like literally, it was an incredible thing to see, that annoyance and that frustration in that bad touch, and boy did he make up for it. Listen, we were wondering when he would play up top, and he had an opportunity, and Richarlison must have been sitting there going, "Oh God."
Can I just say one other thing? One thing I forgot. I hold up my hands. I did not think that Sonny. I thought Sonny was given a captain due to his popularity, not because of his leadership qualities.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I take that back, because what I saw yesterday was there were moments where he was berating Solomon and berating Porro for certain things that they didn't do correctly. He was involved in every goal, and I think he's now growing into this role. I think, he's come out of Kane's shadow. In fact, they all come out of Kane's shadow today. Really.
Yep. Going back to Sonny, like you said, his leadership qualities shone through. But you know what? Every time the ball got played through to him, you had the thought of Sonny 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you know what? We always say, if Son's got a smile on his face, then he can take on the world. And boy, right now, has he got a smile on his face. I think the way when I saw the first goal on replay, I thought Solomon will be mentioned here. I can see Amir in there, so Amir will be very, very happy to hear that we will be mentioning a certain man or Solomon. But the way he took that first goal, that chip, because we were obviously at the other end, I didn't get to see how excellently crafted that goal was, and that Sonny is the look. One full game, or most of the game, obviously got subbed off to a rapturous applause and a hat trick, which could have been 4. You saw Ange come and have a joke in the interviews. You can't ask more for it. Okay, my next one. You're going to mention his partner because he was outstanding. He was outstanding yesterday. But I said I'm starting to get very strong feelings love-wise for 2 certain players. And the other one,
I feel a Moonpig card coming on.
Mate, I would gladly write a Moonpig. I'd write my own card. I'd do a drawing. It wouldn't be a very good drawing, but I'd do the drawing. Mickey van der Ven. Listen, again, a player I didn't know a lot about at all. I've now seen him live twice. One against obviously Fulham and yesterday. I will say, however good you think this guy is, multiply it by 25 and you're not even close to how good this kid is and how good he is going to be. You can't get round him. You can't. One of the things I used to say with Thierry Henry, and I hate to bring him into this, but with Thierry Henry, what was so good about him is if you stay too close to him, he'll just do you for pace. And if you stay too far off him, he'll just do you with skill. Well, that's Mickey van der Ven. You can't beat him for pace. Don't even try it because you're not going to win. And if you face him, he's so strong. He's so powerful. A lot of the stuff when we were pushing up, the balls he was winning, there's people up there trying to jump to get headers. He's just like on tiptoes and he's colossal. He is absolutely colossal. And I think in him, we have a player that is going to literally become an absolute cult hero. I have never seen a player within 3 games have 5 songs for him. There's about 5 songs for him minimum. I just think he has. We have got the weight. Yes, it took ages. Yes, we all know why. Blah 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 blah. But this player is very, very. And do you know what, Colin? And I love Colin to bits. He's a very good supporter of the channel. And Vertonghen, as I've said, is my second favourite player of all time. I think you're right. We didn't get him. I think you are right. Obviously, we'll have to see. And I can see a very, very good friend of mine, Will Stewart, is in the building. And what time is it back home? He's on the set. It's 5:19 in the morning, Will. What are you doing up? What are you doing up, my brother? But big up to Will and everyone at Tottenham Away. Go give Tottenham Away a like and subscribe. Also, I've got to say, for the first time ever on Ange-r Management, we've got over 500 people watching. So
guys,
thank you.
Can I ask, Brian, how many likes? Because it's, guys,
we
just
are
to
up
let
to
you understand, the subscribes,
183. We're up to 183.
The likes and subscribes are what drives the analytics for the channel. So without those, we need to get the momentum. So if you get time, if you hit the subscribe button, it doesn't hurt. And what it does is it will just let you know when our show is on. That's all it does.
Yeah.
And the like button is nothing. So please, if you get a second, just hit the like button and the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you money. Subscribe sounds like it's costing money. It doesn't.
Exactly. You can speak about Mr. Mickey,
so
but
Mr. Mickey, 6'4". Yeah, clocked the fastest time in the Premier League yesterday, in the German Bundesliga. He's an unbelievable player. I just think that the Highline system is absolutely perfect for him. And he looks like he could do modelling. I'm not being funny. Chiseled, 6'5". I'm heterosexual, by the way, before anyone gets carried away. But I think he's just got everything, and he's still learning. I expected him to be a little bit more raw. I just think he's going to be a top player. He's got long legs, and he tends to go to, when he does go to ground, he uses them to scoot the ball around. I think he complements Romero perfectly, because where Romero likes to commit early, Mickey van der Ven uses his body and his speed to try and draw the player away, and which gives Romero time to come back and cover him. I think the two of them, look, there are great defenders, but a great team and a winning team is built on a winning defence. And I know you go on about Jan Vertonghen, but Jan Vertonghen was a good defender. But when
don't say what
Toby,
you're about to say.
No, I'm going to tell you something, because when Toby came, what happened was he became a better player, and I'll tell you why. Because they great defences are built on partnerships, Brian. Right? They're built on partnerships.
Yeah, I agree with.
Okay, you know, if you put John Terry and Eric Dyer, you're going to have the same scenario, right? Okay, so I believe that these two, if we can keep them there, are really going to be important for us moving forward. I am, however, concerned that we have no backup for Mickey. Ashley Phillips is extremely quick, left foot, right foot, and he's going to be a star along with Dorrington. But I don't feel that we should let Davinson Sanchez go just yet. I know there's a bid in from Galatasaray because we just can't afford to lose either of them. And I'm hoping with only one game a week that Mickey and him, Kuti, will do really well. I expect him. I'm not sure. Did he get called up for Holland? I forgot to check.
I can't remember.
I'd be amazed if he wasn't called up to the full squad again. So,
well, let's have a look. But before we go on to your special mention, and I know who you're going to pick next, I think it might be his partner. Warrior Without a Master, thank you very much indeed. I'll say it one more time. Sweet music to hear Chelsea fans in meltdown yesterday over the result and saying, how are Spurs playing better than us? They are scared. The giant has just woken up. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, I on the bus home, watching Chelsea fans in meltdown, going Poch out, Lampard in, and going on an absolute meltdown, especially after some of the videos I saw after their 3-0 win against Luton. That's right, Luton. It is wonderful to see. And Poch, you reap what you sow, mate. You reap what you sow. And long may it continue. But Johnny, your next special mention.
Oh my God, there's a couple. Right, there was a few. All right, I'm going to go for Kuti. I've got to go for Kuti. Kuti Romero.
Yeah.
I think giving him the vice captain role, it was absolute genius. Absolute genius. That first 15 minutes when we were all over the place, he was having words with all of them. Everyone, Porro, Van der Ven, and Destiny, calm down, right? And the keeper. And he's there all the time. But he's looking to get forward all the time. He loves scoring. He loves getting forward. He got so frustrated last season because nothing was coming off. He's now got 2 goals, right, in the first 4 games. But that goal yesterday was unbelievable. What a shot.
James Maddison would have been happy with it.
Oh, my God, what a shot. We were right behind the goal. If you look on my Twitter, you'll see I've managed to capture it, and it's literally banged straight to the corner. I'm sure you've seen it on the replays, but it's a good angle from behind the goal to see how much it bent. But the guy's unbelievable, and he's still up to his usual tricks. That when when a player scores, he comes up and he bangs them in the ribs and he whacks them round the head numerous times. That seems to be his playground thing. But he looks a different player under Ange, because Ange obviously believes in him. And it's had a great effect on him. I think the responsibility has lifted his game massively. Also, you know, the fact that he's playing with someone like Mickey van der Ven, you can see, though, his main worry, I'm going to say again, his main worry is not that left side at all, because there's so much pace there. His worry is coming down that right-hand side with pantomime Porro.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Because
That's a bit harsh.
Yeah, no, behind you. I'm
Oh,
talking
okay,
about
gotcha. No,
pantomime
gotcha.
because he's behind you. Where is he? He's behind you. Not because I'm just saying he's the thing he gets caught out with consistently is behind you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Colin. It was a real leadership performance from the back, and as Colin just said, all three players basically led from their positions. Wastain from the back, Kuti from the back, Maddison from the middle, and Sonny led by example up front. And he let them know. Great performance.
1 second, my mum is just walking past me, so mum's making another appearance on Ange-r Management. Off she goes. There you go. You'll say good morning to people?
Good morning, people.
There you go. See, there she goes. Thank you, mum. Right, where were we? Kuti, yeah. Had you finished your bit on Kuti?
Yeah.
Okay, well, all I could say
doing your washing, Brian?
She is. She's a lovely mother. She's a lovely, only because she doesn't trust me with a washing machine, not because I'm lazy. Or a bit of both. You make your own decision. But yeah, Kuti Romero, someone said it, and it was right at the beginning of the show, so I can't go back and find it. I'll be there all day. He looks like the player from the first season. It's amazing, like you said, partnerships. It's amazing if you look at it. I think what you've also got to mention with Kuti is he's playing with three new players. Now, it's either you give the credit to all three players that have made him play like this now, or you credit him for having adapted to the three new players. They're both 50-50, either way you look at it. The funniest thing I saw all game yesterday was after about 11 minutes, Kuti Romero was telling people to calm down.
Yeah,
now, if you see Kuti Romero telling people to calm down, you've got to wonder what the hell is going on for Kuti to say, what's going on, keep you cool. I think giving him, again, like you said, vice captaincy and that instant response. But you know what it is before? I used to think the last season, he was going so high up the pitch and trying to make those tackles because he was so worried about what was behind him. And now you've got four defenders that have complete trust and hope in each other. You got the goalkeeper, who again did what he had to do. Yesterday, I don't think he put a foot wrong. He was absolutely incredible, and I have to say, Johnny, that goal.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was Papa Matasar that scored it because he had the shot before, and my eyes were so.
Yeah, he got the foot in. That's what they were checking VAR because they were.
And for the offside on Maddison. But do you know what? We were saying Kuti gets injured before Argentina. I was one of them. So I'm not away from this scot-free at all. But that's what happens. If that's what happens when you can have trust and build a bond with your defenders, who again have had. Who was the last defender out of them to come in? It was Mickey. So what have they had, about 5 weeks together?
Well, he's invited him round to his house on a few occasions for dinner. Kuti, offering Mickey van der Ven, because he's a young guy, he's invited him round, and I think that helps. That helps bond. The other thing you were saying about last season, you've got to remember that when we were playing the two-man midfield, Kuti often had to step forward into that midfield to make it a midfield three, okay? To give more support to the two that were stuck there on their own, often outnumbered under Conte's system, which left whoever was left on the left-hand side exposed, which saw him having to rush back and make the rash tackles. Different team, different game.
Yeah, it's completely right. I still want to know why Will is up at stupid o'clock in the morning. He's either got up ridiculously early or he's done a late night stream and he's been staying up all night. Right, so you went Kuti. Who am I going for? I know Amir's in the chat, so let's do it. Manor Solomon, who was not the best of performances to have your first team debut, full team debut at Fulham at his old club, but that goes for a lot of people. Yesterday in the first half, he was electric. His pace, his directness. He got 2 assists. And he certainly made a difference. You look at it now and you think up top, if it is Solomon, Son, Johnson, there is frightening. I mean, we've got a lot of pace to burn. We had no pace last season apart from Son. Well, this season there's pace everywhere, and you can kind of listen. People may not agree with the Johnson deal, but what he will bring, and I know Colin Cross will back it up and say it. He will bring frightening pace, which is what we've been lacking. And as we mentioned, Kulu's position I think is seriously under threat. But Manuel Solomon certainly put a marker down for that left-hand side, because I thought Perisic was going to start, in all honesty. I really thought Perisic was going to start out of the two on the left, but I'm delighted it was Solomon. And you can't really say much. I know he was one of the subs, wasn't he? He came off, if I remember.
Yeah.
And on your first full Premier League debut to grab 2 assists, yeah, a goal would have been nice, but I don't think he actually had any attempts on goal. But that's the kind of performance we can expect from him, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a lot of people who, again, said, "Oh, typical Levy signing, got him on a nothing. He couldn't even get a game for Fulham." There was a reason why he didn't get a game for Fulham, because Fulham didn't want to play him, because at the time they were still negotiating with Shakhtar as to the fee, and they expected him to be honoured his contract, and they would have to have bought him. So the more games he played, the better he played, the more it was going to cost them. They played the game to keep him on the bench, and it turned out that UEFA cancelled his contract, which is when Spurs stepped in. The kid's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. He suits Ange's system perfectly. One-on-one, hugging that touchline, cutting in, driving into the space.
Yeah.
This is the important thing about Ange. Ange is all about space. If you see space, drive into it. Doesn't matter if you're a left back, doesn't matter if you're a midfielder or a centre back, whoever. You see space, drive into it. And, I think we were so rigid last season, and someone mentioned it here before, playing with, I think it's Americana, playing with expression. Express yourself. Be who you want to be, obviously within reason. But Manon, 2 very clever passes yesterday for the goals. I think the second one for me was, well, I think both, because the first one, he could have cut onto his right foot and hit that shot, but instead he picked out Sonny, put it away beautifully. And then that second one, running down that left-hand side, he didn't just whip the ball into the box. He picked up his head and saw the space that Sonny had created for himself before Sonny slotted it in. More of that. I'm just gutted it's the international break. That's all I can say.
Before you have your pick, I just want to bring this dude up. R9, listen, the name of the show is Ange-r Management, and we go game by game. So I can see you saying, calm down, it's only Burnley. Well, we're doing the Ange-r Management for Burnley. If you'd watched us against Fulham, you'd have seen it completely differently. So when you say we're being, so when we say you're saying we're being naive, we're talking about a 5-2 win against Burnley. And I just wanted to bring this one up, because this is the one I wanted to pick rather than stop being naive. You say Perisic was crap, didn't put one ball in for Richie. Go back to the Fulham game. Richie scored. Go check who put the ball in. Well done. But now over to you, because we've done Manuel. That was my pick.
No, listen, guys, we've mentioned this before, and you please understand this. If you're coming to the chat for the first time, then you haven't subscribed. So please remember to subscribe. But you can't pick us out. This is game by game, match by match analysis. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's the way we structured it. Okay, so my one is going to be Pedro Porro. Because, like I said, he was at fault for the first goal. He was complicit a certain amount for the second goal. But, like I said, I don't hate the player. I think he's unbelievable going forward. He is unbelievable. The pass for Manuel Solomon, the first goal, from that right-hand side to the other side of the pitch, that opened up that space, was fantastic. But the second pass, that pass from that right-hand side, that bent ball from deep, was absolutely sublime. and had James Maddison, had Cristiano Ronaldo or Neymar, or to name whoever you want, had played that ball in, you would have been rejoicing at the weight of that pass perfectly for Son to just run over and slip it in. I do have my concerns for him defensively, and I've said this over and over and over again, and I'm not going to change that. I need to see him against bigger teams. I do personally believe that if he was a right midfielder or a right winger, he would be lethal. I'm not going to change my opinion. I've said that since before we signed him, before he arrived. I said we're going to concede goals with him as a right back or as a right wing back, but he's going to cause havoc. And so far, I feel like I've been vindicated. He's still going to improve, but he's loving life at Spurs. And it was interesting in the last 10 minutes or so that they brought on Emerson for Kulu. And that's exactly what happened. Kulu pushed forward, Porro pushed forward, and Emerson played as the right back. So let's see what happens. But great signs going forward. I don't have any worries about him going forward. I
agree. I mean, like I said to you, I still think he's a better right winger than he is right back. That first goal that he gave away had his debut at Leicester vibes written all over it. There was a moment like that. And do you know what? Occasionally there are going to be performances like that, but I think the special mention that needs with him is his long range passing, and his eye for a pass is outstanding. And you can see the right winger in him with those passes.
And he's shooting.
But that's the thing. You look at it now. I'll tell you now, with that right back, if he does play right back, can you imagine the pace of Porro and Johnson? It's going to that right wing or left for defenders.
Our two wings are going to be the fastest wings probably in Europe.
Yeah, they're literally the speed and pace in them. The speed and pace in them is frightening. And that pass, like you said, that second pass, if that had been, I'll give you another name you left out. If that had been Kevin De Bruyne, match of the day last night, would have done every single angle of it, every single would have got the webcam out, not webcam, spider cam. You see why I went webcam there. All different. But I think apart from that slip up and his frailties in defence, his offensive work and attacking work is up there and was outstanding. But I can't believe I had to wait this long to talk about my person.
I was just going to say, Brian, I didn't even get to watch Match of the Day last night. I put it on. I got to my bed. I wouldn't say I was tired. I pressed the play button. Gary Lineker came on. They came out. They were all going Burnley, Burnley. I didn't even see the Burnley goal.
Oh, there you go. I mean, I can't remember the last time that we were actually first. When I came in and I said, "All right, Dad, how far are you behind ahead of Match today?" The Spurs been on because I watched it with him. He goes, "Oh, I'm past that first game." I'm like, what? So straight upstairs to rewatch it. But as I was about to say, the person we need to talk about as well is Juanis Basuma. This guy, mate, that song went on for ages. That song went on for absolutely incredible. Go on, finish it off. Basuma. Okay, there we go. So let's do it. He wasn't as dominant as he was in the first two games, but do you know what? You can't get the ball off this guy. There's just somehow, some way, he's literally, he could find space in a telephone box. That's how good he is. And do you know what I love seeing? The best thing about him, not just his play after the game, the smile on his face, where all the players come to the crowd and thank him more than I've ever seen any time, including
none of this walking off crap. Right?
They literally spend time with the fans. There's Basuma doing and getting all the fans G'd up and dancing in front of them. Just seeing him with a smile on, and I keep going back to it. Conte had an ace up his sleeve, or he had a pair of aces in this kid. Why am I calling everyone kid today? Guy in this guy.
To you, Brian, and I.
In this guy, he is just. You knew he was good. You knew he would have an impact. You knew he could run a game. The other two midfielders obviously complimenting him. The defenders coming up. But it's like this team has been made with Basuma in mind because he is just simply awesome, isn't he, Johnny?
Yeah, listen, he's Conte, mate. I hope you're watching this. I hope you're watching because you're a suppressant, okay? You know, if you want to take something to have a great day, you don't watch Conte ball. You want to have a great day, go and watch this Ange ball, right? It's feel good, right? I fell in love with football watching the great Spurs football, right? Not Conte ball. I feel like I've been reborn, to be honest with you. It's just, and Basuma, you know, I had so many arguments, Brian, as you know, on Spaces when we signed him in July. It was our first signing for 25 plus add-ons, and I was so happy. I thought, what a fantastic signing! And then to be hearing in October, you know, Basuma's not playing because he doesn't understand our system. What are you talking about? The guy's 26 years of age. He's played at Lille. He's played at Brighton. He's played at Potter. He's played 3 different systems. And you're telling me he's got to learn how to play? This guy's playing with freedom. He's loving it. He's got a point to prove. And we are benefiting from it.
You're bang on. Do you have anyone else you want to mention, or do we start the
I'd like to mention, just before, I'd like to mention Big Vic's save. What a save that was. The one that tipped over the bar from Brownhill. Another, I mean, listen. And did you see the, I think it was the save in the first half when he was like this, like when he was so pumped up. He's pumped up, the guy. He really is. Now, he's a good guy. This is a guy who gave home to Ukrainians when he was in Italy. And I think he wants to do the same again. And he's a young kid. So this is someone who hasn't been affected by the fame and fortune of football. There we go.
Yep. I will say, Big Vic has come in and he has really started to impress. Couldn't really do anything with the goals that were conceded, but I am loving what I'm seeing from him. I went mad when we didn't get Raya. Absolutely mental. But then when he came in after talking to a good friend of the channel, James Flower, he showed me the error of my ways. I'm delighted with Big Vic. I'm absolutely delighted with that. But now it's time for this. It's time for a bit of Ange love. Off you go, Johnny.
Ange Postecoglou. Well, where do you start? I mean, Ange Ball's real. Ange Ball's a thing. You know, as a Spurs and Rangers fan, Glasgow Rangers fan, because I lived up there for a little while, watching Ange dismantle Rangers on a regular basis. Not a loathing for him, but, you know, envy is probably the right word. I didn't think of him as a Spurs manager because I thought Scottish League rather looked down on him, probably. And as many people know, I wanted Slot. But boy, has he changed my mind. He's won me over. Tuesday was a major blip for me. Like I said, I still don't understand it. No one will ever make me understand why someone makes 9 changes. But there is an infectious buzz going around that team. He's got a group of players playing for each other. I don't know what he's doing, but right now it's working. It is working 100%. Should I say X? Yeah, that's me there. I just don't know where to start. His press conferences, the honesty, everything about Tuesday was wrong, and everything else about what we've seen on this tour has been right. I just hope we can continue. There are probably a few signs that Levy or the board have got to him, telling us that he's okay with Davis and, you know, what are you going to do? He said, we've got too many players. We've got an overblown squad. We've got too many players and 3 questions down. Someone turned around to him and says, what are you going to do if you don't sell these players? he said, well, we'll try and integrate them. Well, you can't integrate them. And I really want to see what happens now with the likes of Hugo Lloris and Eric Dyer. They should be training away because and Ndombele, because they've obviously not embraced any of the offers that they've been given, and they've all been given offers, and they're going to try and work out their contracts. Is he going to let them pollute the squad and that good feeling, or is he going to send them away? I'm hoping he sends them away and said, okay, you want to play that game and play hardball. But I love Ange, love his press conference yesterday. He's joking about saying that he should have got the fourth goal because he should have. I love the fact he doesn't throw his players under the bus.
Yep. I mean, first of all, we got a super chat, so I just want to bring it in from Jake. It says, big up, boys. Yesterday was proper Tottenham football. Was that Ginola on the pitch or James Maddison? I need new glasses. Yeah, I mean, it was a incredible performance. There are so many Ginola songs we were singing on the coach. So many I'd forgotten about. We went through a right repertoire of legend songs.
Even the Arsene Wenger songs were coming out.
Oh mate, they were all coming out. That was a great coach ride. But yeah, do you know what? We forgot a special mention, and we're going to do a special mention at the end because the fans need. We need to talk. We need to talk.
I spoke about the fans.
No, we need to. I just can't get. All right, I'll just do it here and just say those fans. It is party carnival. I've never heard the Spurs fans be this loud. Away, home, and away. That we are always noisy.
Ange was loving it, wasn't he? He walked towards us after the end of the game, and he's going whoa like this, and he's like pumping it up, trying to get the fans even louder. He's definitely, I mean, it's genuine. I know we're saying Antonio, but this feels genuine.
And Postecoglou's got another 6 songs.
Yeah.
There's at least, again, this is what we'll go to, and then I'll go into Ange Postecoglou. We've got players with multiple songs now, and I do mean multiple. But yeah, listen. Thanks, Ben. Listen, let's change that. 232. That's wrong because it's 276 on mine right now, Ben. So you may need to refresh that.
Guys, come on. We need the likes for, as I say, for the algorithm to try and grow the channel. We're trying hard to grow the channel. It's not easy to grow the channel because it's a competitive environment out there. But your help is much appreciated. We share the love for you coming in and supporting us. It means a lot to us. And, if you are new and you just hit that subscribe button, that's fantastic for us. It helps us grow and it helps us bring you better content on a more regular basis.
And I have to say as well with that, we started this first Ange-r Management, and I think we had like 200-300 people watch it when it was pre-recorded. We now get towards the 5,000. There's 560 people in here right now. So it shows that this show is being well received and well liked. And it's because you guys keep pushing it out there for everyone. So thank you. But now back to...
and your mum keeps popping in to do the washing.
My mum keeps popping in to do the washing.
They're here for the fly update.
Let's
not
be
kid
that.
ourselves. They don't give a shit about our... opinions.
Okay, so maybe we need to invest... Maybe we need to infest your house with more flies then. Maybe that's what we need to do.
They're fruit flies, guys, in case you were wondering. Not to be confused with any other known fly.
Exactly. But now let me get on to my Angela. This guy. Do you know what? I spent a lot of time, because where I was sitting with Ben for the game, I was right on the end of by the corner flag, but the very first 2 seats at the end. So I couldn't even see the stand next to me because it has that sheeting. But what I could see, clear as day, right in front of me, was Ange Postecoglou. Yeah. And I kept a very, very close eye on him during the game. And his emotion, his passion for this football team, or it could have been like it was at Celtic and all the other clubs and country when he's managed Australia. He is so passionate. He is so... And like you said, I remember going to games with Conte, and you would just hear him screaming at the place. Not talking to, not screaming. And don't get me wrong, some of it they deserved. I'm not just saying that he was
berating.
Yeah,
berating.
But no, there were great moments with Conte willing the team on and everything as well, and geeing the crowd up. But when it comes to that part of the game, Ange Postecoglou is like no one I've seen. And to get the players playing like this, we have to keep mentioning this. He's been there since July the 1st. We are now here at September the 3rd. And if someone had said Spurs, I thought this would be playing like by about Christmas.
That's what we gave ourselves, didn't we? Christmas, January.
Let alone right now. And then just everything that he's doing. It's like when they say everything he touches turns to gold. Well, it's like everything he's touching right now turns to goals. Because the football that we're playing, you heard it as well, and I am going to say it. People were singing "We've got our Tottenham back." I have to let you know, a lot of them are talking about on the football pitch, not the people off the football pitch. I'm just going to get that out there. But on the pitch, it's breathtaking, and the interaction you saw with the Sonny interview when he gate crashes it.
Yeah.
The players have smiles on their face. The players look like they're playing with a style and an understanding of what they want to do. They are literally, and it's all because of him. It's not because of anyone else. It's everyone's there. Players that we had that were feeling down have now shot up and up their levels. Whenever you see anything on the training grounds, it's happy and positivity. I just don't understand how this man has done it. There's some people that just come in and got the Midas touch to like just turn something around, and I thought this was going to take a lot longer. I really did. I thought first year, I'm not changing that. I think we finished 6th. I'm not changing that just yet. I'm not getting too carried away and saying, "Yep, now we're winning the league."
I said 5th or 6th was my initial thing.
Exactly. That's where I'm staying. But what I will say is, I thought this year would be a season of understanding, getting things back to normal, getting things right, getting rid of some crap, bringing in some quality, like Poch, ready to go next season and really, bosh, up we go. This man, I think, is 8 months ahead of where I thought he'd be right now. In uniting the team, the style of play, the way that these players, we had a huge disconnect at the end of the season. At the end of the season, the players couldn't wait to get off the pitch and away from us. It was toxic, and rightly so, because of the ownership. It was social. It was everywhere. It was everything and everywhere.
I think Brian. I think the thing is here, Brian, is that our misfortune has turned into Ange's fortune, because I think the ability for him now to work week by week with these players, to analyse where they went wrong on the Saturday or Sunday or Friday, whenever they're playing, to work on it for the 2 or 3 days of the week, and then to prepare for the weekend's game is a massive, massive advantage. As you know now, after going out the cup, we're playing less games than any other team in all 5 divisions, I believe, including the National League, which is rather embarrassing. But what it enables him to do is to prepare. And I think this is what's going to speed up the development of the squad. I think if we'd have had, I'm not going to deny that I've mentioned this on Spaces just the other day 2 or 3 times. We are 1 injury up front, 1 injury at centre back, and maybe 1 or 2 in the middle of the park to be bare again. But we can do that. What I also noticed yesterday when they were coming off the pitch.
This is a great point with the new players.
When they came off the pitch, Brian, yesterday, leave that one up. They'll come back to it. But when they came off the pitch yesterday, well, it's applauding. Ange was sat back. Ange did not walk around with the players. He stood back. He let the players take their moment.
Yep.
And then once they had gone and worked their way, he then came forward to acknowledge the crowd on his own, not with his players. That's the third time he's done that after the Man United game as well, which is interesting, which also coincides with the fact that he said he likes to separate himself from the players, which I thought was, in that special moment, you would think that they would all come together, but no, he likes to separate himself. So can you go back to that comment before, Brian? The one.
Yeah, I could try and find it again. Where it's just basically saying where there it is.
Yeah.
Which is a spot on point. It's a spot on point that a lot of these new players that come in, and again, you look at it, no Dyer anywhere, Lloris anywhere, no anyone that was there.
Well, Dyer and Lloris and Davis are all still there somewhere.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm
he's not.
saying. I
Listen,
want
they're
them.
not travelling. I don't think they'll be in the squad. Davies may get in the squad. Dyer and what he's saying though is these players have come in and they may have heard of what's going on at the club. They didn't see what's going on with the club. And I was just about to mention when you said about the celebration, it's bang on what he said. Everyone thought it was a bit weird what he said in his press conference, or when he appointed Sonny captain and he said the dressing room is your place. This is what you do. This is your room. You have it how you. He's just got everyone singing off the same hymn sheet. The footballing, and I do mean footballing side of this club, with what Ange is doing, as another comment said earlier, he seems to have the right formula for what this club needed.
Yeah, 100%.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And you know what? On that note, we are 100% going to leave it on a very, very positive note. I want to say thank you to the 536 people that are currently here with us. We really, really appreciate it. The show is growing at a rapid rate. Unfortunately, it's the international break. So we won't be back.
Addresses up, Brian.
We won't be back till Sheffield United, unfortunately. But I'm just going to do that, Johnny, so you can then you should be. Where's our names gone? Why have our names disappeared? Oh, well, we've got a bit of a problem there and I can't work out how to change it. So, Johnny, where can people find you? Just say it.
I would go like this, where my name used to be.
Why is it gone? Why is it gone? But yeah, go on, carry on.
Yeah. So if you come over to Twitter and find me on Johnny H3232, you can see some of the posts from yesterday, but also come join from the Spaces where we discuss everything Spurs, really. Don't matter whether you're from Papua New Guinea, Australia, China, wherever. We have people from all over. You're welcome to come and listen or to come and speak and have your say on our club. We've got our Spurs back. Now, what they say, we've got our Tottenham back, right?
Yeah.
But for me, that doesn't work. We've got our Tottenham back. The song doesn't work. But Ange has given me hope. Ange has given me belief. And after 4 years in the wilderness, because I feel like I've been in the wilderness, the football wilderness, for 4 years, I feel like now is the time that once again we can all together start enjoying our football and start to be positive. Yes, there'll be hiccups. We're not going to go unbeaten, but
there you go. I found it. I fixed it. Johnny, do your finger again. Where can people find
Johnny
you?
H3232, or on TikTok. Let's talk Tottenham 32. So, Brian, thank you. Or you can find us here on Ange-r Management or Cockerel Doodle Doo in the mornings.
Yep, which we'll be back with tomorrow.
And before you go, it's good housekeeping when you leave to please remember when you close the door behind you to like, and if you're new visiting for the first time, subscribe, help us grow. Sorry to ask, but it's all part of our process. And thank you for everyone out there for supporting us. It means a lot to us both. Thank you.
Exactly. Well, Johnny, what I will say is we had over 500 people in, and we are ending right now with 346 likes, and we have gained 30 subscribers. So,
thank
guys,
you very much
indeed. Welcome to the Tottenham on Tour family. We will be back with Cockerel Doodle Doo tomorrow morning at 8:50, where we will be talking all things Spurs and a little recap of this game. But all I will say, as always, no, wait a minute. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Has to be. And as always, Levy out.
Thank you. Tottenham.